Playing before a sold-out crowd at the Smoothie King Center.
A lot of people at the Blender today. Fans are now returning to their cars. We hope and pray that they were not broken into. It comes after a string of break-ins by the Smoothie King Center. Eleanor Tabone joining us now live. Hopefully some good news, Eleanor.
That's right, Devin and Charisse. Now, before we arrived here at the Smoothie King Center, like you mentioned, the game just finished. We drove around at all the surface parking lots and the side streets where we think people typically park when they're coming to a game, and we did not see any vehicles that were broken or smashed into. Now, this comes after a string of burglaries. Earlier in the week, there was 62 cars broken into in Jefferson Parish. Then on Wednesday evening after a game, there were multiple cars broken into outside the Smoothie King Center. Now, NOPD is reassuring both the NBA and residents that they will be safe, their cars will be safe. Now, when we were driving around earlier this evening and before we set up here tonight, we saw NOPD cars patrolling all the parking lots, especially those parking lots that aren't very lit. Now, this is what was said to us earlier when it comes to keeping our vehicles and people safe. New Orleanians love sports, but that love is being usurped by the possibility of returning to your car and finding it broken into.
There's 3 to 5 cars, 7 to 10 cars that's getting broken into, valuables being stolen, guns, money, anything they could find.
Dozens of cars in a parking lot near the Smoothie King Center were burglarized during a Pelicans game Wednesday. And that's in the back of many fans' minds as they park their cars before heading to the game tonight.
My vehicle, I believe, should be safe with them there.
We saw NOPD patrolling some of the surface lots around the Smoothie King Center. A fan says those patrols need to increase. Fans who come to the Smoothie King or the Dome have to park somewhere, and many choose to park on the street simply because it's free. But when all those spots are taken up, the second best option are these surface lots. But look how dark it is. Not a single light installed. And the only light we see is the lights on top that NOPD officer's car.
If a parking lot is not well lit, I would suggest you find one that has security, that is well lit, that you can get to, and where people walking can see what's going on in that parking lot.
NOPD Chief Deputy Superintendent Hans Ganthier says the department has a plan to stop the car break-ins happening during Pelicans games, working with analytics to determine where exactly the break-ins are happening so they can direct patrol.
We will use a lot of overtime for that. We have offered overtime for that. I know the 8th District detectives are working on an overtime basis. Our patrol officers that are working that are also, a lot of them will be on overtime. However, we have directed some of our normal patrols, if they're not on calls, to be on those locations as well.
They need to remain here at the entire time, from start to finish, not sit in one spot, actually drive around. If there's any suspicious activity, I think they should be checking it out.
Those distinct blue and white lights reassuring those parking in car parks.
To be honest, the only reason I parked right here is because I saw the cops. Usually I'll go into like a parking garage, but that's still not the best. One
fan says he made sure to empty out his car before parking.
I mean, you worry, but you try not to bring anything that you know that they could take. I got nothing in my truck that they would want.
Devin and Charisse, some advice there. Now, if you choose to park when you're coming to the Dome or the Smoothie King Center, try and park somewhere where there's a lot of light so you can see it, you feel safe. Never leave anything valuable in plain sight. If you need to leave it in your car, hide it under the seat, put it in the glove compartment. Also, some advice from law enforcement, never leave your gun inside the car, leave it at home. And if you park your car at home, make sure you also take it inside with you. Reporting live, Eleanor Tabone, Eyewitness News.